Johnson, now covering the New Orleans Saints, joins us now on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Do you miss just hammering chili dogs during rain delays?
Well, look, I was about to say you're giving me PTSD, and then you brought up the chili dogs, and now it's just a fond memory, you know.
The man had
Like,
a running
I
Twitter
miss
count
those
of
days.
chili dogs on Twitter.
Yeah, the chili dog counter. I think it was the great chili dog counter of 2017, if I remember right.
Is your,
I housed I think like 56 or 60 of them in during the home games that season.
Did you bring that to your cardiologist's attention, or did you just let that one slide?
Oh well, I would have if I've ever gone to a cardiologist, but like my wife, who at that point we'd been married for a year, she was like, "You better friggin' never do this again," because it was like, I mean, it was like what I was known for, which is like the dumbest thing, just like housing chili dogs, and she's just like, "You're gonna kill yourself doing this." And then I went to Omaha that year, and I ate a 18-inch calzone on a Facebook Live feed. Yeah, not a good year for my body.
Yeah, but a great year for your career, and it's parlayed you into the National Football League. So let's talk a little bit about that. The Saints OTAs have been up and running the last few days, and obviously the stories have been around Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. I'll kind of leave it open-ended. Anything stand out between those two through a week?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's like not really like a lot of like really important takeaways we can have right now. Like it's not really super competitive stuff that they're doing. Like the only like quasi-competitive thing they're doing is 7-on-7, and there's like no Tyrann Mathieu out there. Quincy Riley, their rookie corner, has not participated yet. Like, and there's no pass rush, so like you can't really look at this and say, "But like, wow, this is what it's going to be." But you can take some like individual things away from it, and like the book on Tyler Shough coming out was that he had a great arm, like one of the best arms in this draft class, and that has like totally showed up in these OTA practices. He made 4 throws yesterday that were just like spectacular. He had 2 bombs. It drew a lot of eyeballs, but I think the better ones were he made this great layered throw. His tight end was doing like kind of a deep over from the left to the right side, and he like perfectly put it in between the linebacker and the safety, who were kind of converging on the player. Like great touch with zip on the throw. It was really impressive. And then I think his best throw of the day, he was like moving to his left, resetting himself and making an off-platform throw, like 20 yards downfield to somebody who was in pretty tight coverage, and he put it like in the perfect spot, like where the receiver can make a play on it. He didn't make the play, but it's like that type of stuff that kind of gets you excited. Will he continue to do this when he has a 270-pound edge rusher screaming in his face? Like, who knows? But it's like really encouraging to see that stuff. And I think Spencer Rattler's been pretty good too. But like, again, like all this stuff has such a dramatic potential to change by the time September rolls around.
No doubt. Do you think there's, I mean, I don't know if y'all have talked to Spencer Rattler or not in the last week, but do you think there's a different attitude for him with Derek Carr not being there, feeling like there's a chance for him to propel his career? Or do you think he feels like, well, they drafted this guy in the second round, they're probably gonna give him an advantage here?
I like he is such like and I'm saying this in a good way. It might sound bad, but like he's like an irrationally confident person. Like I think he understood coming into last year that there wasn't really like a realistic chance that he was going to like beat out Derek Carr to be the starting quarterback. But like he definitely came in to the league being like, I can do this. And I don't think that's changed. And I don't think adding Tyler Shough to the mix is like a problem for him or something that's going to be hard for him to overcome. Like he's somebody who very much believes in himself. So I think his attitude has been the right one. He's just like, I don't care. I bring whoever else in here. I'm going to go compete with them. And I believe in myself and my ability to go do it. Like, we'll see if he can do it. I think he's definitely got an uphill battle. Like, there's a new coaching staff that already has invested in the other guy. And that definitely gives him a leg up. But like, I don't think that stuff is bothering Spencer Rattler.
How much more fun is training camp going to be from that perspective, watching that, and then even preseason games, which are kind of a malaise for the most part. But these two guys theoretically should be duking it out a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's going to be a lot more fun just from the standpoint of I'm not going to have everybody in my ear telling me how much they hate their car. like we're past that now, baby. I'm so excited for that. No, it's going to be good, man. Like I think it's going to be a way better version of a couple years ago when they had Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, in a quarterback camp battle, where everybody was just like, I mean, it's going to be Jameis, right? It was like a competition in name only. Like this, I think is really legitimate. Like they want to see who's going to be their guy. And while I think people do feel that Shough does have to leg up, like I don't think it's at all like a foregone conclusion that he's going to be their starter. So it's going to make training camp practices interesting. It's going to make preseason games interesting. It's going to make them matter more, even if like we're talking about a quarterback who is going to be leading a team who wins 4 games this year. Like that stuff is still it's still like this is potentially your future at the position. So like I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's a completely different perspective. We're chatting with Luke Johnson at @ByLukeJohnson on Twitter, where you can find all of his coverage of the black and gold. He's with us on Fridays. If I made you, here's a hypothetical, I made you wager injury-free, everybody's healthy the whole season, do you think the Saints have one starting quarterback for 17 games or more than one starting quarterback?
I'm going to say one. And I'm going to say it's going to be Shough.
Yeah.
Like I feel like just the investment, the new staff, like that stuff does matter. And on top of that, like I really like what I've seen from Shough so far. Like he's prototype size. He's like I mentioned earlier, he's got like a great arm. And he's got like a lot of maturity for a rookie. Which a lot of people are using it to his detriment, but I think that'll help him like ease into the NFL a little bit faster than some of the other guys in this class. So like I feel like it's going to be him from the jump, and I would be really like, unless it was just a disaster, I'd be surprised if they pulled him to see what they have in Rattler.
How big a deal is Jake Hayner's injury for Jake Hayner?
I mean, I don't really think it is. Like, he has been mentioned and named by Kellen Moore as somebody who is part of this competition, but it really doesn't feel that way. And maybe that's just like us unfairly glossing over his opportunity here. But he's got a lot working against him beyond this injury, right? Like he's the smallest guy in the quarterback room. He's really the least athletic guy in the quarterback room. And when he's been on the field, it hasn't looked good. Like you can see it with Rattler when he's been on the field. It hasn't translated the same way into the game, so the way it has in practice for Jake Hayner. So like this injury is a setback. Like he's not able to get reps in these OTAs. But like I think this is like such a point of the season where it's really more about like the mental reps, anyways. I think he's still getting those. So he's going to be able to step right in and compete in the exact same way that he would have been had he been like taking the actual physical reps during OTAs. I just don't think it's going to matter.
Anything from the new guys, whether it's a free agent here or there, the draft class, undrafted free agency, that has caught your eye for a notebook or something?
Yeah, like I think it's been interesting that they've been using Vernon Broughton as basically the 3-4 defensive end. He was a guy who played primarily a 3 technique defensive tackle at Texas, and like they saw him as a guy who could move around, and he probably will. We'll probably see him move inside on some sub packages, but like primarily he's going to be a defensive end for them, which is really interesting. Outside of that, I think Calvin Banks looks like legit. As much as we're able to see from offensive line right now, he's a big guy who moves really well. And I think Justin Reed's going to be a really good player for this team. Like I was kind of like a little down on that signing when they made it. I just felt like a little rich, but I think he's going to be really, really good. I think he's going to bring an element to that secondary they were missing.